hit a button. You know, this is going to be one of those where like this, I don't know how this is going to go, and it's going to be our funniest episode ever.
I know exactly how it's going to go. I do need to move this a little bit so I can see you.
I just drank some mead. I feel
the only
warrior-like.
I'll tell you what I need to do is I need to figure out how to put this middle monitor on a stand so that way I can set it up here so I can actually see it.
Get one that can kind of move so you can put it
That's
down.
what I'm saying. Like get it put on an arm so that way I could just like lift it up.
And then I'll just be looking up your nose the whole time.
Well, no, I could put the webcam like.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Put it on here.
Ooh, that's good. It's a little blurry. There we go. There he is.
Well,
I like this better. You feel closer.
It's got stuff on it.
When do you get on it? What is it?
Oh, what is all that?
What is that? It tastes salty. I don't remember eating chips at my computer.
Oh, well. I'm sure it's fine.
Now I'm pregnant.
Oh, baby. What's up, everybody? I'm Richard.
And I'm Shawn.
And we're speaking the language of bromance. And I just cleaned some stuff off my web camera. And now I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant.
Yep, that's how twins happen. You lick your seed off your webcam, and then it doubles up, and you get twins.
To be fair, we're not...
Science!
We're not totally convinced it's my seed.
Well, whose else would it be? Who else is using your computer, Richard?
Oh, God. Now you got me thinking.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh shit. Because Shawn, I have a 16-year-old son. I mean, he has his own computer, but
he just does it for defiance. Better. He comes in, dad's not home. 6 web pages. Oh,
yeah, I know.
I'm the alpha.
Yeah, that would suck because then I'd be like, well, maybe I should check my history, and then I'll check my history, and then I'll have to discern like, is that his or mine? His or mine?
It'd be just more awkward when you come in and you just hear, I'm the alpha coming from your room. Like, oh, damn it.
That is my child.
You started it.
Bitch.
I'm just proud that he's taking up the mantle to be the man of the house. Like we talked about back in the olden days when the man died, the son had to take over.
His son had to take over. I'm going to put you right there so that way I can put you underneath. So that way I feel like I'm actually looking at you.
Yeah, I like it. Well, Richard, we are kicking off a very special episode because not only we're going to be talking about family and love, but we are celebrating 7 years of podcasting.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? 7 straight years too. Like we have not missed an episode for 7 years.
I mean, let's be fair. I don't think anything we do can be called straight.
True. Look that search history up, Richard. When you weren't at the house last weekend, I was using your computer.
Denial.
Oh, that's the second time I tasted your seed. Wait, what? You sleep heavy, Shawn.
Sharing is caring. Happy anniversary.
Well, one thing I wanted to do, so 7 years is the copper anniversary. And I really, really wanted to find some good stories about copper, or if somebody named Copper.
I did too, because you told me that. You were like, "Hey, let's find stories on Copper because it's Copper anniversary." I was like, "Okay, that's cool. That way, I don't have to, buy you a copper ring or a copper kettle, or and then wonder what you're going to use a copper kettle for." Because I think you need a copper kettle to make beer, right?
Well, you could get me a copper mug for Moscow Mules. That's always a plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
then I went to Google and I'm like, funny stories about copper. And now all the ads I get on YouTube are me wanting to invest in precious metals.
How much is copper? Is it pretty cheap comparatively? Because like gold, like an ounce is like $1,600 or $1,700.
I mean, it's cheaper than gold, but it's still pretty up there.
Because I think silver is like what? $25 or $30 an ounce.
That's why, like, around here where I live, whenever like you drive by a house and you see that like nobody's lived there for a while and it looks kind of like dilapidated and run down and it's probably going to be a tear down job. I'm like, there isn't a single pipe in that house.
Yeah. People go in, strip that copper, melt it down.
Do. And they make
sad.
And they make pennies for days.
Yeah.
Even though how much copper's in a penny anymore? Not much.
Zero, if any. I think it's all zinc or something now.
Yeah.
That's a good point. We should get rid of the penny.
We'll never get rid of the penny.
Because of Lincoln?
Yeah.
I always wonder the day like when money's going to be obsolete. Like when's it just going to be credits? Like nobody's using like physical currency.
You know, I've thought about it because I actually think about when you have actual cash in your wallet. Okay.
Oh, it's gone in an instant.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Whenever I have cash in my wallet, it sits in there forever. I almost forget that it's there. And then I open and then, I've literally had, I've had large bills sit in my wallet for weeks, just sitting there, not doing anything.
Usually I try to so you keep like the credit card down a little bit. So I'll usually use the cash if I had it. One thing I do like, which is kind of interesting if currency goes away, but I'm the kind of person that, like when I bought my PS5, I don't like to just jump right in and be like, oh, here's $700 on my credit card for a PlayStation, paid off at the end of the month and everything. But it's just that big sticker shock. Like you have your budget and all of a sudden it's like, why is it so fucking high, Shawn?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, I bought a PlayStation and 2 games. And so with currency, you kind of take like, a little bit out of a time, $20 here, $60 here. You kind of throw it in an envelope somewhere sketchy.
The death of 1,000 paper cuts.
Cool. Yeah. What's cool is when you find that, like, you forget about it and you find like $200 just sitting there. You're like, oh, yeah, thank you, money. But yeah, I mean, I kind of want, like, I know there's a lot of places now that you'll see that will say, hey, we don't accept cash.
I'm waiting for when currency is replaced by something else. Like we stop trading in paper and we start dealing in some like real obscure thing like seashells.
Well, or like a Fallout style. Little bottle caps. Man, I just like, because I mean, it's funny because you only put value on things, like humans put value on things, right? Like gold and precious metals. Like they really, I mean, I guess to an extent they're good for like electronics and things like that now. But
I mean, even like crypto's kind of,
Yeah. Just a completely random thing that somebody says, hey, this bit on this computer is worth X number of dollars.
Yeah.
And you don't own any crypto, right?
I do not, although I really, really want to.
Oof.
I actually, but see, my thing is like, I don't necessarily want to buy it, but I am seriously considering getting into mining it.
I knew a guy that was mining for Bitcoin, and what he would find and get completely didn't make it in terms of what he was paying in electricity and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of those things. Like you definitely have to like do the math to have a setup that makes economic sense.
Yeah, it's tough because I mean you can't like. I think he might have found like a portion of one. I'm not even like. Do you even know how the mining works? I know like you rent out your computer or something.
So basically, the way I understand is you use your it uses your processor speed. Mainly, what you need a computer with a fast processor and or a fast graphics card because those are really your two highest processing power kind of things on a computer. And so what it does is it works because crypto all runs off of blockchain technology. And the way blockchain works is it's a lot of different mathematical transactions or a lot of different mathematical bits that need to come together. So what you do with your computer is you help put the blockchains together. And every time you do, you snag a portion of that blockchain.
So how do you actually get the So are they constantly like making Bitcoins?
I think it depends on the currency. Like, I think Bitcoin has a finite amount. Ethereum, I think, is a finite amount. I know Dogecoin is unlimited. There's an infinite number of Dogecoins.
Yeah, I know it was like you could get like one for like 1/1,000,000th of a cent.
Yeah.
And then it went up to like $2.
Yeah.
So we could have put $100 down, Richard, and made, I don't know the math, a little bit of money.
More than 100. That's the point.
Yeah. Well, I know, and like Bitcoin recently, it was like at 60 grand per, and it just dropped in half to like 30. So if you have 30 grand, Richard, you could buy yourself a Bitcoin.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem that you have with crypto is it can be much. It's way more volatile than say like a stock. Way more volatile. However, it still has an upward trend. Like if you put into Bitcoin a year ago, regardless of, it's up 30, it's down 30, it's still higher than a year ago.
Yeah. Well, it's just like playing the stock. I mean,
right.
If you were to tell me, a year ago that I should buy GameStop stock because it's going to go up, it's going to go from $3 a share to $350 a share, I would have been like, what the fuck are you smoking? GameStop's going out of business.
Yeah. But basically with mining it is you get a portion of transactions that are made using Bitcoin by helping to make the transaction. You help make the transaction, and by doing that, you get a portion of said transaction. And so the way it basically works is depending on how long you have a system running, and it can range. It usually ranges around like $30 to $40 a month for if you have like a higher end PC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know, like I said, there's a guy who was doing, he said like he wasn't even coming close to making enough to cover what he was doing. So, and I don't know if you lose any of that or if you put it in like your crypto wallet, and if, you're losing money for a year or so from the energy you're expending, but because you get a full one, you actually make some money. But even then, like, one crypto and you get 60 grand is awesome. But, if you spend 40 grand trying to generate it.
Right. See, that's the thing is like you have your upfront cost, that's why ideally what you like that dude that like has like, 12 computers sitting around that they're just sitting there. Like it would be perfect for them because then they could just plug them all in, set up the software and just let them run.
Yeah.
And then
but you're still burning.
Yeah, you just basically if you can clear your overhead in terms of the electricity you're using, but that combined with your upfront cost is where it's that upfront cost. Like, do I want to buy like a laptop to run 24/7 just doing crypto transactions?
Yeah,
just mining.
And I know 2 years ago, like getting like the video cards and stuff, it was impossible because of that.
It's still pretty impossible.
Yeah. Well, I feel like everything right now on top of like the chip shortage. Now you have people still probably doing that.
Mm-hmm.
People who just want a PS5. It's like, nope, trying to make some money mining. It's like, why don't you go out and mine for copper and write about it so we can have a funny story to talk about? But no.
Instead,
but long story short, Richard, no funny
Alex
copper
Trebek
stories.
wants me to invest in gold.
Yeah. Does he? He's dead.
Well, then who's been telling me to invest in gold?
Just put a 0 here. It'll be fine. What? But yeah, there's no funny copper stories. Like Copper, who's the magician? Copperfield.
Yep.
But I don't know if there's any stories about him except he made the Statue of Liberty disappear.
Yeah.
Was the Statue of Liberty made of copper? What's it made of?
I think bronze.
Oh. And it turned green because of that, right?
Yeah. Lady Liberty.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I know Kevin Smith's making an NFT too, which I researched a little bit. Pricey to get in.
Yeah. Maybe should we start selling NFTs?
I thought about it. Like, so the girl who does who's the picture of the disaster girl. It's the girl who's like looking at the camera while the house is burning down behind her.
Okay.
She sold that image as an NFT, which I think it might have been like the actual image from the camera. Not 100% sure on that, but she made like $500,000 on that. And whoever bought it, I have no clue what they're getting out of that. Besides owning the digital rights.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is like, okay, you have the digital rights. Like, what can you do with that? Like, I mean, obviously, like, you could theoretically, like, pressure people into that are posting it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't even know about that. Like, I always kind of, like, I've been trying to think about that today. Is that essentially become, like, the new era art? Like, you know how... like,
or not necessarily, I don't know if it's necessarily a new era of art, but I definitely think, like, it's going to... What's going to happen is it's going to be made into a like a new like DMCA 2.0.
Maybe,
you know, where like people, you know, like you can only play 5 seconds of a song on a video before that video gets flagged and taken down.
Which actually isn't true. I think that might just be the algorithm can catch it at 5 seconds, but legally, it's still not okay.
Right.
So that's why we don't play music on our podcast.
Exactly.
Because
that's why we just sing it with no music.
Yeah. Because our lawyer's John. He doesn't know that, but he's our only person we know that's a lawyer.
Wait a minute. Did we give him $1? Isn't that? I saw that in a television show. You put $1 in their pocket, and then they're your lawyer, right? Yeah,
I've mailed it. I mail $1 to him every month to keep him on.
You don't need it. Why are you doing it every month? You just need to give him one.
What's it called? Where you got to keep him on
retainer?
Yeah, you got to do it each month. You got to keep spending $1.
That's not true. Mm-hmm. You just give him $1 and be like, okay, now he's on retainer.
Oh, have I been giving him too much money? I need to ask for a refund.
Yeah, you do.
Man, I should have been invested in Bitcoin instead of John. Damn it. He only comes on every other year. Or I guess he comes on once a year.
We're not going to get that money back. He's a lawyer.
He's
right?
He's like possession's 9/10 of the law. Oh, damn it. He caught us with that one.
Have we proved that he's a lawyer? I don't know.
He says he is.
Have we verified that?
I mean, I haven't seen his bar exam, but I'm sure it's there. He's John.
Wait a minute. You got to go to prison to be a lawyer?
Yeah. Yep. You go behind bars and then you read lawyer books and then you're like, I was innocent. It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. And then there's some
dream.
Yep. There's some judge who's like, I don't give a damn. Guilty.
That makes sense.
Yep. I think that was
all of that tracks in my brain.
I think that was the plot of American Hustle, if I'm not mistaken.
And The Fugitive. You kind of put those together.
But no, like I know some people talk like, well, could you sell your podcast episodes as NFTs? Which, Richard, I'm not going to lie. If somebody's like, hey, I will give you X number of dollars for an episode, I'd totally give it up. Like we're talking our 7-year episode right now.
Yep.
You know, we always talk about one of our big episodes that kind of got us, you know, world known was our Emu War episode.
Yeah.
And if somebody's like, hey, I will give you $500,000 for the Emu War episode, I would be like, it's all yours. And then next week when you're like, hey, I'm excited to do a podcast, be like, Richard, I'm sorry, we can't do this anymore. Wait, why?
No reason. Goodbye.
Is that a gold cup? No. Sorry, bad connection. No, I see.
It's not our gold anniversary. It's copper.
I see you making a sound with your voice. No, I'm not. Hey, babe.
You're just jerking around the camera trying to make it look like there's lag.
What's that behind you? Is that a stack of money?
Buffering.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like
buffering when it's buffering, Shawn.
I feel like if what I'll do is if we ever like start selling those for like $500,000 a piece, I'll start putting that money away. And like on our deathbeds, I'll just roll up with all this money. You'd be like, what is that? I'll be like, this is our earnings. Like, how much is there? $10 million. Yeah. You son of a bitch.
Yep.
If I didn't have arthritis, I'd strangle you to death.
And then we would kill each other. We would slowly gum each other to death. That's what would happen.
Richard, now we're wealthy. We could have been wealthy years ago.
Wow.
How much do you think we could get for an NFT for one of our episodes?
I have no idea.
I
mean, what? Okay, so no, you know what? I was going to ask what the low bar is on an episode. What is the low bar you would accept? But I don't think we should say that. I don't think we should say that on and have that be on record.
Low bar, $10 million.
Yep, there it is.
I would do $10 million.
Nailed it. Okay, so since we don't have any stories about copper, how are we going to celebrate?
Oh, Richard, one of our first episodes, I think, where we established that we were a improv comedy podcast.
Yes.
For some reason, we decided to take a trip to Loch Ness because you and I both were the same kind of kid. We went to that weird, interesting part of the library where they had those weird books about Bigfoot, UFOs, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Loved them.
I did too. I still to this day, if I see a Bigfoot story, oh my God, Bigfoot caught on tape, I'm like, watch. And it's just this grainy.
Give it to me now.
Yeah, it's just this grainy, weird video, and you're like, is that Bigfoot? I don't know. I bet it is because he exists. He's out there. That's why to this day I don't like being camping outside because I'm nervous a Bigfoot's going to come up and try to have sex with me, which has happened.
Shawn, you fell asleep in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, I tell you, I was scared of a bear eating me. No, I was scared of a Bigfoot trying to take advantage of a drunken Shawn.
Yep. And then Tiffany comes down. It's like, Shawn, why don't you come sleep with the camper? Get away from me, monstrous beast.
Bigfoot tries to grab me. I'm like, get off me. I'm married.
But get me, Bigfoot. What the fuck did you say? What?
Well, went in the woods. But Richard, we talked about Loch Ness, and we went down this weird, interesting tale of basically this big giant robot. Because this was during when Pacific Rim was big too.
That's right. It was going to be Loch Ness versus robot. It was going to be Loch Ness was a kaiju.
Yeah, and the Bigfoot was going to have this big rocket penis. I was going to shoot at it.
Cock rocket.
Yeah, CR. Let the CR go. Fire at will. We've only got one, and then we got two bombs. I get it. Not very.
We've only got one shot, and then we need to go to sleep so it can reload.
Well, I'm sleepy.
Do you need some cab money or something?
Hey babe, I still think you're beautiful. But Richard, I think I have discovered what the Loch Ness Monster is. And it kind of relates. It's not a robot penis, Richard.
Oh.
But what if the Loch Ness Monster is actually a whale penis?
Why is that how whales say how do you do?
Yeah, they say how do you do with their pink.
Sharks put up a shark fin.
Yeah, whales put and I'm looking at this thing and it looks very similar. It's in the daylight, which to be fair, if I saw this pink thing waving in the air.
If you make a comparison to your penis, I am ending the show right the fuck now.
No, I mean lengthwise probably pretty close, but mine's not quite as pink.
And no. I'm not a whale.
What this looks like, it kind of looks like a tongue, like a pink tongue flicking in the air, but it also kind of looks like a tentacle.
Well, that's some weird imagery. I'm gonna not be able to sleep tonight too.
Well, to be fair, I've never thought of whale penises because they're mammals, so I guess that's how they have sex. But I'm always kind of weirded out. You think of snakes having sex, or these animals that aren't most mammals. You think of having doggy style. Yeah.
Did you ever see the video of the snake orgy?
No, and I don't want to because I'd probably have to cut my own penis off.
There's some place in Canada. I can't I think it's in British Columbia or something. But for some reason, all these snakes during a certain time of the year, all these snakes gather in this one spot, and they all just and apparently it's just a big snake orgy.
Oh
and
my
like,
God.
So like since people know where it is, they've like built like a bridge over it. So you can like stand on this bridge and you look down into this like kind of ravine looking area and you just see this like heaving pile of fucking snakes.
Like, can you imagine going to that, Richard? Like, you look over, you take a picture, like, oh my gosh, this is so fascinating. And the guy next to you is like, yeah, it's so hot. Like, oh, I want to join you. I love snakes so much.
It's wearing a big overcoat, just throws it off and jumps off the bridge.
Well, he died like he lived, loving snakes.
Fucking weird.
Yeah. Oh man, snake people are weird. Like, I know I'm not a fan of snakes. I've shared my story why I'm not a fan of snakes. You know, my mother grabbing me as my dad's holding a little bitty gardener snake and shaking me for dear life in front of it kind of scars you a little bit. But like seeing that, I feel like you're piercing into like the opening of hell. Like Satan like just kind of peeks through, like pulls the snake's back, and you see this like goat head poke through.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what I want.
Look at this. Isn't this fucking hot?
Look at me. Look at me.
The guy in the overcoat thought so. Why don't you?
Yeah, he gets to live with snake orgies for the rest of eternity. No, thanks. But no, Richard, the question right now is they think that some of the sightings in Loch Ness of the Loch Ness Monster could be a whale penis. And
Are there whales in Loch Ness? I've never heard of a whale in Loch Ness.
I've heard that like there's a lot of like, I think it was with flooding, I thought the book said. So like the book I read in grade school, which fascinated the hell out of me. Because Loch Ness is like super like deep, like ridiculously
right, that's what
deep.
I've heard that like it has like there's actually like underwater storms. That's how deep it is. It's like weirdly deep.
It's fresh water though. I guess I didn't realize it was fresh water.
Right.
This doesn't say its depth on this.
Do whales swim in fresh water?
I wouldn't think so. So I guess let's see what the story says. So this comes from news18.com. So we know it's reliable. News 16, always fake, not real news. News 18, 100% true.
18 means 18 reasons why you should believe them.
Yeah. And these ads on here are, I mean, it's got Star Trek Lower Decks. This live TV says media could not be loaded. Which I'm
looking
guessing.
at it and it says, do you want to invest in gold and silver? God damn it.
Alex Trebek. So for years, the mystery surrounding the Loch Ness Monster in a freshwater lake in Scotland has given birth to bizarre explanation and conspiracy theories. So I remember as a kid, they always said because of that big picture that it was a Platherosaurus. You know, the big, long-necked, flippered dinosaur of the past.
You know, the scariest thing I ever saw in Loch Ness was, you know, how they would make movies about like, you know, Monster in Loch Ness or whatever. There was this one movie I remember where there was a guy and he was in a sleeping bag, like close to the edge of the lake. And then like the Loch Ness Monster pokes his head out and just like nibbles the bottom, like grabs the bottom of the sleeping bag with his teeth and just drags the dude like fucking under the water. That fucking terrified the shit out of me.
Yeah, I could see it. I would figure like if you don't wake up in that situation, that's kind of on you.
Well, yeah, but think about this. Like you wake up, guess what, Shawn? You're in a sleeping bag and you zipped it up because it's Scotland and it's fucking cold a lot of the times. And so now you're like adrenaline's pumping and you're trying to fight your way out of a sleeping bag.
Yeah, but A, you're not in a tent, you're out in the open. B, you're way too close to the water. And C, you're at Loch Ness. And even if you don't believe in Loch Ness, it's kind of like ghosts and like demons and stuff.
Are you victim shaming? I feel like you're victim shaming right now.
A little bit. I'm just saying, take responsibility for yourself. That's the dude that's like, no, I'm not sleeping in the RV. I'm going to sleep next to Loch Ness because there's no fucking monster. That's the dude that dies first in every horror movie.
Not anymore. It seems like that's the dude that dies last.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's it just like makes you mad. You're like, how come that dude's still alive?
Yeah.
Nobody likes you.
He was an asshole. But it's like going to Camp Crystal Lake and be like, hey, Jason, your mom. I bet she likes this, and you pull out your penis.
Wear your sweater.
Oh, hockey sucks, asshole. Football.
Kruger.
That's a good point. Are you more of a Jason or Kruger fan?
I think I'm partial to Jason because I think I've seen more Friday the 13th movies than I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Well, I mean, there are like double the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
Because those are easier to make because there's no like dialogue. It's just chasing people around woods.
It's like a guy like it wasn't. It took him 3 movies just to figure out. Hey, we should put makeup on him, and so then he can take the mask off sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. You got to go like it's more dialogue heavy, so it takes some work
and more. I would say more effects too because you got to like. How are we gonna get a tongue in a phone?
Yeah, one it's like, all right, well, we need a boiler room. All right, well, now we need a bedroom. All right, there's like a lot of sets, and like Friday the 13th, it's like, all right, wood shot 1, turn the camera 90 degrees, wood shot 2.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. What the fuck is that? Is that a whale dick in the water?
Yeah, like for Friday the 13th movie, you just find a summer camp that like, you know, all the kids went home after they got done, you know, having campouts and
that's a good point
in the woods.
I don't know if I've ever been to like any kind of summer camp place that doesn't look fucking scary. Even before
I never been. Did you ever go to a summer camp when you were a kid? I never did.
Boy Scouts. I went to a couple of Boy Scout camps.
Never went to a summer camp.
My
parents always sent me to a relative. Because like they didn't have the money to send me to summer camp, so they would just ship me off to like an uncle's house or my grandma's house. And so my summer activities was like, oh, you get to bale hay, and I'm like, fantastic.
I'm learning values. Well, all the ones I went to, they were never
what
like.
Am I my grandparents?
I never went to like month-long camps. Or anything like that, like a full summer of camp. Like it was always just like a weekend or 2 or 3 nights kind of thing. Because yeah, like I've heard people talk about those summer camps where they go, like they send their kids off for like a month or 2, and it's like $10,000. Like it is not cheap.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
because they're there for like what, like 6 weeks?
Yeah, could you imagine hating your kids so much that you'd want to send them away for $10,000?
You pay $10,000.
Yeah,
be like just a month, just 30. That's all I need.
Yeah,
just please.
I know I got to go twice for Parent Day, and that's always a pain in the ass because they got the macaroni necklace. They got.
Oh, cool! I mean, you made a house out of macaroni.
Yeah,
you're a real
Susan, Greg is 16 years old. Like seriously, he's got to start up in his game. Like I've got so many of these macaroni. You know, man, I've been cooking these macaroni necklaces because I get fucking hungry, and I got to go up there and get more of them. He's like, Dad, look. Body fall. I'm like, oh, it's Cannonball, but at least you're close.
Please tell me you finger banged a counselor. Just something. Give me something that I know that like I feel like this was worth it.
Yeah, Greg, do you know when I came here? Because my parents hated me too. Oh, they called me Two Finger Charlie because that's all I did.
They called me Carp. You know why? Because I learned how to hook.
I love the fishing, if you know what I'm saying. I don't get it, Dad. That's why I hate your guts.
That's the point. I know yours can clear it up with just a shot, but I keep it with me. Some people have pictures. I keep venereal diseases as memories.
If they ever make this NFT eligible, I'm going to be fucking rich. Yeah, mine was a Boy Scout camp, so there wasn't much of that I'm aware of.
That you were aware of.
Even the counselor was like, Shawn, you stay in the cabin. I'm like, why? Because you're not pretty enough.
Are you staying with me? No. That's not how. I know how you think this is going to play out. It is not going to play out like that.
Oh, this is just like church. That's horrible. That's horrible, Richard.
This went dark.
So there's a lot of conspiracy theories, and this really kind of got popular after a black and white photograph of a large sea creature was taken by surgeon Robert Kenneth Wilson in the 1930s.
So wait a minute. So you're saying in the course of almost 70 years, no, 80 years, actually, no, almost 90 years.
Yeah.
In almost 90 years, nobody, out of all the people that have seen that infamous picture in the course of 90 years, nobody was like, that kind of looks like a whale dick. Is that just like an embarrassment thing? Like you don't want to be the person that's like, that looks like a whale dick.
How do you know what a whale dick looks like?
Yeah,
did I say
question.
Whale dick? I meant to say whale.
Did I say whale dick? I meant obviously a prehistoric sea creature.
Oh, I bet that's what happened. So I don't know if you know the tale of Robert Kenneth Wilson. He's a surgeon. He takes this picture. It becomes famous. Years later, he's like, "Oh no, it was a toy I put out in the water and took a picture." But you know what happened, Richard? He was out there and he saw this whale penis flopping around out there. And he's like, "Oh, I got this picture. I'm a surgeon. I'm going to go to my guy. He's going to print this out for me. This is going to be my secret picture."
Yeah.
And you know what happened, Richard? His wife found it.
I'm going to put it in a box. I'm going to write spank bank on it.
And his wife found it. And she's like, "What the fuck is this?
Is this a whale penis?
Bob,
No.
are you looking at whale dicks again? Are you taking pictures?" He's like, "No,
You just got out of rehab.
It's the Loch Ness monster." The what? The Loch Ness monster.
It's a creature from the dinosaur times. And
Dope.
it rears its head to eat people that are camping by the lake in sleeping bags.
I'm staying with my parents. Okay, Barbara, you can stay with your parents. She knocks on the door. Her dad, this elegant surgeon, like world renowned.
We're going to have to go back to counseling, aren't we?
Oh, Barbara, it's whale penises again, isn't it? So experts have suggested that the alleged neck of the monster really could be a whale's penis. A team of experts, Richard, investigated the claim, published in the paper Archives of Natural History, arguing that the sightings could be...
I'm just imagining like a guy standing in front like a big fucking whiteboard with like all these pictures of whale dicks taped to it. And he's got like circles and lines and he's got pins in some and little pieces of thread that are tied to each other.
There's pictures that people have taken claiming it's Loch Ness monster and whale penis. He's making connections.
He's drawing dicks on the picture to see if it...
You walk in and you're like, "Man, who's financing this?" He's like, the U.S. government with Scotland. How much are they paying for this? $10 billion.
Yeah.
Huh.
Is that true? No, this is all mine. I pay for this myself. Actually, I didn't really pay for anything. All these pictures are from my private collection.
But I do have a check coming in the mail for $10 million.
Any day now.
But the sightings could be a large baleen whale and its snake-like penis. I don't think my member has been referred to as many things, and snake-like is definitely not one of them.
No. No.
Unfortunately, because I wouldn't be upset if somebody's like, "My anaconda, don't want none." If you
but they're not going to say that. Like if somebody said like, "That looks really snake-like," you're telling me you're not going to take that as an insult? Because I totally
I know. Yeah, it looks like it swallowed a big ass animal and it's digesting it.
They're gonna be like, "That looks snake-like," and then you're gonna be like, "I never really thought of it that way." And then you look down and then you see it, and then you're gonna freak out because you're scared of snakes.
Richard,
I never
real
really
talk
thought
right
of it.
now. You have to shower in the dark for the rest of your life. So, like,
I'm bad. I'm dirty.
Like, it's one of those things too, like, no one's ever really like talked about my like member have said anything good or bad about it. But like, could you imagine like if like like all the girls or anybody that's ever seen it, like you kind of heard like they're in a room, like, all right, we're going to sit you down. We want you to describe and talk about what it looks like. And if they just started saying the most horrific things about it, like, oh my God, the first time I saw it, I almost threw up.
Why would you do that to yourself? You know what? Like, I'm going to be real, okay? And this is the real, okay? They all look weird.
No, they do.
All of them.
There's some that look really weird, though.
They all look weird. All of them.
I mean, like,
every single one of them. Every single one of them look like a fucking alien appendage.
It's true.
I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking like, not mine. Nope, yours.
Yeah, I just think hopefully mine doesn't look like it's one of those things that you just want to look normal. Like you don't want somebody to see it and be like, oh,
but that's
penis.
what I'm saying. There's no normal. They all just look weird.
But there are some that look really weird. Like there's some you see and like that's weird. It's penis. But then you see some, you're like, oh, like what the fuck is that thing? I mean, it looks like one, but it doesn't look like one.
Stay away from the medical journals, Shawn.
Yeah. I think the surgeon, when they did the little snip, kind of messed up on that one.
And then this is a slam.
Yeah, like everybody tells you, like, oh yeah, I was with a girl when I pulled it out, she screamed. It's like, yeah, it's not because of anything good. I have never
seen or heard of an experience where somebody takes off their pants and the opposite partner is like, oh my God, that's beautiful. I've never heard that happen aside from porn.
But even if it did, like they said, oh, that's so beautiful. Like I feel like they're going to take out like a little pink outfit and put on it. Like put a little lipstick on it. Put a hat.
Your name's Sally now, isn't it?
Who wants some tea? Who wants some tea? Who wants some tea? Like I shouldn't be this way right now. Like I should be flaccid, but I'm not. I'm starting to question myself.
Oh God. Well, I guess I'm into this now. It's okay. Rule 34 will take care of me.
So the study cites other such similar accounts related to some of the male whale species, which can be 1.8 meters in length.
Jesus, wait a minute. You said like 1.8 meters?
Yeah, so that's like what, like almost 6 feet?
Whew.
Yeah.
Shawn, I'm almost 6 feet.
Yeah. Whale penis is just about as big as you. That's the other thing. If you whip out something like that, like, I mean, some people are like, oh yeah, but a lot of people are like, nope.
No, I'd say most. I'd say most, if not all.
Are like, nope.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, nope, fuck that.
Yep.
Actually,
not literally. Yeah. I'm going home.
Yeah. They just slap their hands together and they go, I'm out.
Yep. Richard, do you know how many times, if I had a nickel for every time that it would happen, how much money I would have?
You would have negative 5 cents.
Yeah. You're right.
You were like, say it for me just once. No, I'll give you a nickel. Give me the nickel first. Okay. Hey, where are you going?
Oh. Well, at least it's just me and Sally now. I like tea.
Who wants a biscuit? Who wants a biscuit?
So it's
I want a biscuit.
It's 1.8 meters in length, usually sighted rising from the water in a state of arousal.
Why is it rising out of the water? Like, is that like a presenting thing? Because whales are under the water. So like nobody's seeing it.
Yeah, but to be fair, if like you had a 6-inch one or a 6-foot one, wouldn't you be like, hey, this is what I got going.
I know you can't do anything with this, but check it out.
Hey, it could be just that like they pass out and they go belly up for a second too, because all the blood rushes to it. So on April 7th, Twitter user James Felton, a comedy writer, shared a thread giving insight into the claim along with multiple pictures. So the first picture is the one that was the part of the article where it shows the whale kind of like flipping it out. And then the classic picture. And
I'll have to do that the next time I'm in the bathtub.
Hey, look, I'm a whale.
And then my wife will go, no, really not.
Wait, babe, sorry, I got to let some water out. A surprise number of sea monster sightings can be explained by whale boners. And then he shows this image of a kraken, like coming out of the water. So the tweets have attracted attention as users filled the comment section with their own speculation. It went viral with over 13,000 likes, 300 comments, and more than 4,000 retweets. However, as a strange theory grew on the internet, a fact-checking website, Snopes, took matters in their own hands to clarify the claim. On April 27th, an article titled, "Is the Loch Ness Monster Just a Whale Penis? This rumor is more plausible than it might appear," published online. It states that the famous photo of the creature, dubbed as Surgeon's photograph, was a hoax that was created with a toy boat and some putty, when Christian Sperling, involved in the hoax, had confessed before his demise in the 90s. It added that while the famous picture is nothing but a toy submarine, it is possible that some of the sea serpent sightings could be whale penises.
I don't know how to feel. Like, I don't know, like, I feel slightly disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, if you see some, like, they always talk about, like, the sea serpents in Loch Ness. Like, I know some people have said, like, oh, well, it could be the plesiosaurus, and some people say it could be, like, giant eels. But, I mean, if it's already got this, like myth around it, and you see this thing kind of flopping and bouncing around in the water, like, seriously, my first thought isn't going to be, oh, that's a whale dick. You know what I mean? Mine's gonna be like, holy shit, I've seen it. If your first
thought, it's not going to be one you say out loud.
Well, it will be
you
now.
Know what I mean? Because you're going to have the same problem that Sir Reginald had, where he's going to be like, oh, that's a whale dick. And then his wife is like, why do you know what that looks like? And then he's going to be like,
yeah, because that's right, pre-internet.
It's a monster.
That's pre-internet. It's like you had to actually search that stuff out. You had to get the big thick dictionaries to see that.
Is that like a weird Mandela effect where we all knew it was a whale penis? It's just we didn't want to tell each other out loud that it was a whale penis.
And you know what, Richard? It's really sad that we've come to that in society, that we're scared to be judged by something as beautiful as the knowledge of knowing what a whale penis looks like. You know what? I'm sad for this world that we can't
see you. You know what? It was fine, and then you made it weird. Now it's weird.
Like, nope, that's the line, Shawn. Like snake orgies, that's okay. Whale penises.
Yeah. You want to know where the line is? Look behind you.
It's a whale penis.
It's a whale penis.
Is Loch Ness someplace, like, when you think of like places you'd want to go, is Loch Ness on your like list at all?
Scotland in general is on my list of places I want to go. I don't know if necessarily Loch Ness. I mean, I think like if I'm driving from one place to another and it was like on the way, it's kind of like how like if you're driving through Arizona and you're like, oh, Grand Canyon. It's like just like maybe an hour that way. Mm. You're like, yeah, I want to see the Grand Canyon. I think that's the attitude I have when it comes to Loch Ness.
Yeah, I get it. Like you'd want to put your toes in it.
I don't know if it's something I would explicitly like make a trip specifically like that's the destination. But if it was like a slight to mediocre detour from someplace I was going, yeah, I'd hit it up.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'd probably do the same thing. It's always usually pretty cold too. Like there's not like any kind of swimming in Loch Ness, right? Because summers there are still
cold ass water.
Yeah, I know. One of the theories in the book that I read in grade school. It's crazy that I remember this, but they had talked that like during the Ice Age, that the surrounding, like basically like these plethrosauruses could have like swam into Loch Ness, and because of the freezing of the water and stuff, they didn't have an exit from it. And so they just pretty much adapted to just staying in Loch Ness.
Yeah, I think I've heard that too.
I think about like that Loch Ness and like Bigfoot and stuff. Like I hope it's not a whale penis. Like I hope there's something there, because I think it would just like a lot of times in our world, I think we feel like we know pretty much everything. Yeah. And so like that exposure to like, oh my God, no, we've just proven that there is this plethosaurus like creature in Loch Ness.
Oh, exactly. 100%. I actually, before we wrap this up, I actually have something, because you made me think of something that I saw like a month ago, and I have talked about it numerous times on the show, but unfortunately, apparently, I was wrong, or not wrong, but I might have been misled. So Shawn, do you remember the number? Like I said, I've mentioned it a few times. Do you remember me telling you about the bloop?
Yes, yeah. The air bubble
the story
thing?
about the bloop.
Oh, it's just going to be an air bubble, isn't it? Did they prove what it is?
It was not an air bubble. Not an air bubble. But apparently, and this is according to NASA and the National Ocean Service, scientists discovered the sound that we all know as the bloop. And for those that might not know, so apparently there was a deep water buoy that was in the middle of the ocean that had a listening device on it. And the listening device picked up a bloop, like in the water. And judging from the distance that it came from and the size of the sound that it made, that it could have only come from something that was like gargantuan, like some huge thing is the only thing that could have made the sound that it made. Now, this wasn't like a roar. It was just like a big bloop of like something moving underneath the water. So Shawn, get ready to be disappointed because the bloop is the given name of a mysterious underwater sound recorded in the 90s. Years later, scientists have discovered that the sound emanated from an iceberg that cracked and broke away from an Antarctic glacier.
Oh, sad noise.
Right? So it was a giant iceberg that had broken off and fell in the water.
Oh, so an iceberg belly flopped or cannonballed, sparking
into the
our
ocean.
imaginations.
Uh-huh.
And all it was global warming.
I know. Disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing, number one. Number two, like, great. Now we have another iceberg that's broken off and is floating around.
Oh, yeah. And Titanic 2 is about to be finished.
Oh my God. What if that's the iceberg that hits it?
I'd be down. I'd be for. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be for it, but I mean, that's so talking about it's like 7 years of the show.
Revenge of the bloop.
Yeah. But that's something that's been like in the works since we started this podcast, like 7 years ago.
I know.
They still haven't finished it. You know, that's time travel stuff right there. Like somebody's going back. He's like, "Hey, rich dude, let's not do this." He's like, "No, I got enough lifeboats." He's like, "No."
Does it? I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like that's it. I kind of feel like when it comes to like, hey, let's build another Titanic, people are always like, I mean, really? Like, is that necessary?
Yeah, I just feel like even if it like makes the trip, like, do you really feel good about that? Because I mean,
right?
if
like,
something,
hey, Tom, we've got planes now. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah,
we don't need this.
I mean, if it doesn't make it across, you just got a lot of people being like, "Oh, told you so." Horrible idea. But no, like you think about that, like there's been a lot of talk about UFOs and stuff too. We probably won't dive into that too much, but like slow rolling out, like, oh yeah, we totally know there's some weird shit out there that we don't know anything about. Like I could just wait like any point in time in like the next 6 months, they're gonna be like, hey, guess what? This is Bloop Blop from And you know what? The only thing that'd be awesome, I hope that happens, and he walks out and like he just talks about he came to this planet because of the Language of Bromance podcast he's been listening to. Like I would die a happy man.
Oh my God. Okay. Now I need you, or I need somebody, if anybody's listening, I need you or somebody to do the math on this, okay? If our first episode was 7 years ago, how far out in space has it gotten at this point? If I put it on, if we put it on a speaker back in 2014 and blasted it out, who would be able to pick it up at this point?
If we put it on radio, it'd get pretty far. It's for radio signals to get to Mars is 5 to 20 minutes.
So that's like, yeah, we would have left the solar system by now.
Oh yeah. Somebody surely heard it and laughed.
He's gonna be like, I'm here to talk about Loch Ness. And you're like, oh, sorry, we found out it's a whale penis. And he's like, what about the robot with the big dick? Be like, we just made that up.
Oh, well, I'm just going to blow this planet up then. Wait, what? But yeah, just waiting for that moment.
I'm so disappointed.
But
in his rage, he nukes the earth.
Yeah.
And then it's all over.
Yep. And the last moment is our wives looking at us and we're like, we knew this podcast was a horrible idea.
We brought about the end of creation.
Who would have guessed?
I would have guessed.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it. But Richard, 7 years. It's been a fun journey. We're keeping on. I want to know what you got for some Richard's closing thoughts as we jump into year 8.
I don't know what year 8 is. What is year 8 of as we jump into the year of styrofoam? I think that we should. It's always been fun, and it still is. I think I think I say this every year, but like, you know, people say, when will you stop doing this? And it's always like, well, why are you so demanding about it? And they're like, you should know. And I'm like, yeah, I do. But listen.
Do you have to be so upfront about it?
Like,
Shawn's right there.
I do it because it's fun. And when it's no longer fun, that's when I won't. And 7 years and it's still fun. So fuck you guys. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Tiffany and Amanda. Actually, they're the most supportive, I think.
Yes. Far and away.
They're like, listen, they're not out getting
even
drunk.
More than us.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, they're like, listen, they're not out getting drunk. They're just talking to each other over the internet. What's the worst that can happen? Hey, babe, did you hear the alien? He shouted it out on our podcast.
He also says something about end of the world. I don't know.
No, like I said, I've enjoyed this too. It's a fun ride. Like some of the stuff that we get to do, and I hope we continue to get to do. But yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But I guess before we start crying and
I won't, you will.
let me do a little bit of housekeeping. Visit our website, we're at languageofbros.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at languageofbro. Email us at bros@languageofbros.com. And as always, we'd like to thank our patrons, Wendy and Aaron. Guys have been on this long journey with us for such a long time, and we cannot tell you how appreciative we are of that.
So much so. It's the you know, I always feel like I do this for an audience of one, and that one obviously is you, Shawn. But the fact that there's anybody that's willing to be like, here, we like you so much, have this currency.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, thank you so. Wait a minute, is this precious metals?
Well, I always do this for a audience of 2, which is Wendy and Aaron. That's the only reason I keep doing this.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait, sorry. No, yeah, it still blows my mind that, and like they're so nice too. Like whenever I talk with Aaron and stuff or Wendy, like they're always liking our stuff and just, you know, being super supportive, and I love it. And like
they're good peoples.
Yeah, like Dave Bridges the same way. He's always super supportive of our stuff. But yeah, it's crazy to think about this journey. John's another good one to toss out there. Yeah, I'm sure we missed some people, but like everybody else out there that's out there supporting our show.
Shawn, Ming,
yeah. Deb, I mean, she kind of gave us a new avenue for kind of pushing this show.
Yeah. The point is that there are people. It takes a village to watch 2 people be village idiots. There you go. That's how you end it.
That is how you end it. That's good. All right. Well, as we end up our 7th year anniversary episode, is there any Richard? Oh wait, we already did that.
We already did that. Yeah. You did housekeeping. Now we got to end it. Stop trying. You're trying to drag it on.
I'm trying to stall. I don't want it to be over.
It's not over. Wait a minute. Is it over? Oh God, is this how it happens?
Richard,
we're just friends now, aren't we?
Yeah, it's not you. It's me. No. All right. Well, is there anything else before I close her
I'm
out?
gonna go float in a tub.
Babe, it's a whale penis. Get it?
I made this tub with my tears.
All right. Well, that's all the bros we have for the show. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Richard.
Remember, don't be a why.
Be
a why not.
Oh my God. Is that the first time we've ever done that in sync? It feels like it is.
It was pretty good. It's close.
Feels like the first time.
Ooh, every time.